I discovered this exercise when I was 25 and it completely changed my life in all areas, not just the drawing part. So here's what I would do. I would start a drawing, and then in the middle of the drawing, I would start judging the drawing. I would start looking at all the mistakes, and I would very quickly feel like absolute trash. And this tendency to be my own worst enemy would happen throughout everything I did in life. Going out, social interactions, working out, career, you name it, until I found this exercise which changed everything. So let me show you this exercise, and while we're doing it, I will explain why this is so transformational. First, we will need a reference picture. This can be anything, a cute little puppy, a human figure, or even a picture of your ex if you want to channel your inner sunshine of a spotless mind or something. Then we are going to grab a piece of paper and a pen. This can be fancy smanchy drawing paper or just regular printing paper, as long as it's not your ex's restraining order. Now, here's a twist. Instead of making the drawing, we are going to fold the piece of paper into a crane. Just kidding, let's make the damn drawing. So the reference photo that I chose is this human figure. You can screenshot it if you don't have your own reference photo. Now, while we are drawing, there are a couple of rules that you have to take in mind. Rule number 1, only draw the outline of the reference photo, nothing else. Rule number 2, you're not going to look at the drawing, not going to look at your drawing paper, only look at the reference photo. Number 3, you are not going to lift your pencil from the drawing paper. It's going to be in constant connection with the drawing paper. Rule number 4, once you start drawing, you keep on moving and you never stop until it's finished. And rule number 5, don't call your ex back. Now, while you're watching this video, don't judge the final result of the drawing because it's obviously not going to look like the reference photo. And let's just get started. Now, while you are seeing me doing this exercise as an example, you're probably wondering how such a stupid exercise can possibly be transformational, can possibly change your life. So let me explain. The reason this exercise is so powerful is because it completely deprives us of the ability to judge ourselves during the process. Normally, when you're drawing, there's some kind of symbiosis going on between the right side and the left side of your brain. One side of your brain is going to see everything, the colors, the shapes, the forms, and the other side is going to overanalyze everything that it sees. Let's say you're trying to draw a perfect circle and you're getting closer and closer to that perfection, and then suddenly your brain starts to judge you every single move. It starts to correct you on every single turn, and you start to feel a little bit frustrated. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, your brain says, hey, you know what? At least this is a great drawing of a curvy looking square. And now you feel terrible. And so the question really becomes, how can we shut up this over-analyzing part of our brain in our drawing process and in the rest of our lives? Well, this exercise shows us that the answer is surprisingly simple and has everything to do with directing your focus. If you are drawing and you're focusing on the movement, on the experience of the drawing process, on the process itself, then you will feel amazing. If, however, you focus on the end result, on how the drawing looks, on what you want to get out of the experience, you will feel miserable no matter how good your skill is. And this is true for everything in life. If you go on Instagram and you start to search for artists and then compare their drawings to your drawings and compare the likes and compare the comments, then you will feel miserable every single time. If, however, you go on Instagram and you just post and you just talk with your followers, then you will feel energized after that experience. If you're single and you're going out and you're focusing on the girls and you're focusing on the opportunities that you missed or taken, on the things that you've said or could have said differently, then you will feel miserable very, very quickly. If you, however, go out and you just focus on the dancing itself, on the music, on enjoying yourself with your friends, it's going to be a pretty good time. And the power of this exercise is not that it is able to give us the potential to conceptually understand this, because let's face it, before watching this video, you probably already understood this concept. The power is that it shows us visually that we can feel amazing about a drawing that is objectively terrible. It shows us the life we could live if and only if we are able to direct our attention. Let me rephrase this for a moment, because this is some powerful insight. This exercise shows us how good life can be, regardless of the outcome we get in life, if and only if we are able to focus on the process. This is, by the way, why a lot of these millionaires that are buying artworks secretly feel miserable, because they are focusing on the outcome. They're focusing on how much money they are making. And no matter how much money you are making, you can always find someone that is making more money than you. Now, as you are contemplating the finished product of this exercise, I want to point out something that John Milton said, because he summed it up beautifully. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. And if you're wondering about some of the other benefits that come with drawing, I made a video called Unleash Your Inner Artist, How Sketchbooks Changed My Life. I'll link it in the description and in the end screen. And that said, get the hell out of here.